Hey, so today we're going to talk about seventh chords on ukulele, and I'm here with my cool pickapick ukulele. It's so bright and cheery. Anyway, so seventh chords. There's a few different types, and we're just going to talk about, I guess, sort of the most common four, although really like three of the most common. But we're going to talk about four. So what we're going to do is really simple. I'm going to explain what the seventh chord is. I'm going to play a sort of related chord, change one note to make it into a seventh chord. So that way you'll understand how you can make seventh chords out of chords that you already know. I like that sort of approach to really anything, taking something that you already know and just modify it to create something new, rather than creating the something new from the ground up. So anyway, the first chord that we'll talk about, for no real reason other than maybe it's the most common one, maybe, is just a seventh chord. So like an A7. Okay, that's really an A dominant seventh, if we want to be technical, because then there's like an A major 7, an A minor 7, an A diminished 7, there's different sevenths. So if it's written though just A7, what that really means is an A dominant seventh chord. Okay, so what that is, and of course you should already know the notes on the ukulele, right? Yes. So you know like that this is a B, and the second fret on the C string is a D. You should know things like that, right? Yes. Okay, excellent. So let's talk about the seventh chord. So let's talk about, say, an A major seventh chord. Okay, and you can apply these to any of the major chords that you already know, or when we get to it, the minor chords, whatever. I'm just taking ones that are pretty basic and pretty simple, just to sort of get you started. So if we play an A major chord, so starting on the G, it's a second fret, first fret, and then open and open. So 2, 1, 0, 0. Okay, now what we need for a seventh chord, it's a major chord, excuse me, with a minor seventh added. So a minor seventh is 2 frets down from the root, or 10 frets up from the root. You know how like the notes are kind of circular, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and it just, so you can go backwards or forwards, whatever. So if we take an A major chord, so it's the A major, and then we want to take the root note and go down the equivalent of 2 frets, a full step down. Then we take an A, so there's an A at the second fret of the G string. So if we lower that 2 frets, second fret, 2 minus 2 is 0. So it looks like I was just making an obscene gesture with my finger, sorry. So we end up with 0, 1, 0, 0. So that is an A dominant seventh chord, an A7 chord. We took the A major, lowered the A 2 frets. Okay. We could also have gone the A string. If we lower that to a G, the third fret of the E string is a G. So that would work. But the issue with that is now we have 2 A's. We have the G, which is the 7. Okay, and then we have the C sharp, which is the third. We don't have the E, which is the 5th of the chord. It's not super duper necessary, but it's nice to have that note in there. So seventh chords consist of 4 notes. So there we have like a little issue with ukulele because we only have 4 strings. So the most notes we can play are 4 notes. So we have to be a little bit careful with our note selection. But nonetheless, I don't want to get into that too much, just that you're aware of it. Okay, so A major, lower it, and it's an A dominant 7. So it's a major chord with a minor 7th added. Okay, so the next chord is a major 7. Oh, and actually, you know what? I'll give you another example. So if we play a G chord, okay, the G is the 3rd fret on the E string. If we lower that 2 frets to the 1st fret, now we have, instead of 0, 2, 3, 2, we have 0, 2, 1, 2. And that's a G dominant 7 chord. Okay, so anyway, on to a major 7th. So a major 7th is a major chord with a major 7 added. So a major 7 is 1 fret below the root. So, or 11 frets up from the root, whatever works for you. So we'll take, let's say like a D, okay? A D major chord is 2, 2, 2, 0. So the D is on the 2nd fret of the C string. So if we lower that 1 fret, we end up with a D major 7, 2, 1, 2, 0. Okay, now the only problem with this is now we have 2 A's that we're playing and no D at all. So we don't have the root note of the chord. We kind of need that. So what we could do is, okay, the D here, that would be a C sharp. We could play the C sharp at the 4th fret of the A string. So now we could play 2, 2, 2, 4. So now that's a D major 7. Okay, and a little bit better one because now we have the notes that we need to, all 4 notes that we need to complete the chord. So we're not omitting any note at all. In that way, it's a little bit safer. If you omit a note, which you can do, you have to be careful how you're doing it and where and what context and all of that. Okay, so 2, 2, 2, 4, we took the D. Okay, so here we took the D, the root note, down a fret, but then moved that an octave up. So we now took the chord where it wasn't quite as easy as using the A major and coming up with the A dominant 7 chord. Okay, but there we are. Easy, right? Okay, now the next type is a minor 7. So let's go with the D minor again. Okay, so a minor 7 is a D, and this has like a neat little thing that I'm going to show you. That's why I chose D minor again. It's a minor chord with a minor 7th added. Okay, so remember from the dominant 7th, the minor 7 is 2 frets below the root note, or 10 frets up. So here we have a D minor chord, 2, 2, 1, 0. The D is the 2nd fret on the C string. So if we lower that 2 frets, we end up with 2, 0, 1, 2. Okay, and that, again, we have an issue where we have the A on the G and A on the A string. So 4 notes that we need, and we've doubled one of them, we're missing a note. And not only that, not only are we missing a note, this looks exactly like an F chord. So, not so good. Okay, so let's go back to the D minor. Okay, and now if we take a look, so the D lowered is the E string, sorry, the C string. So what we need to do is play a D minor and add the note C to it. Well, the 3rd fret on the A string is a C. So that's now a D minor 7 chord. So 2, 2, 1, 3. Now we have the 4 notes that we need to play a D minor 7 chord. Okay, let's take a B minor chord. That's a really easy one. A B minor chord is 4th fret, 2nd fret, 2nd fret, 2nd fret. So this here is a B, the 4th fret on the G. So if we lower that 2 frets, 4th fret becomes 2nd fret, 2, 2, 2, 2 is a B minor 7. Bam. So that's a B minor 7. Isn't that easy? Okay. Now the fourth type isn't used as much, but it's a minor major 7th. So let's say like a D, we'll go with the D minor again, okay, because this will be nice and easy. So it's a minor chord with a major 7th added. So the D minor 7 is 2, 2, 1, 3, with that 3, the C, being the minor 7. Okay, if we make that a major 7, it's just 1 fret higher. Okay, so the major 7 is 1 fret below the root. Okay, so if the minor 7 for that D minor 7, the minor 7 note, that 7th note, was 2 frets below the root. If we go up a fret, that now makes it 1 fret below the root, right? Math. So 2, 2, 1, 4. 4, yeah. Okay, is a minor major 7. Okay, and it's not as commonly used, but you know, it exists. So that's a D minor major 7 chord. So there you go. There's also, like I said, diminished 7ths and things like that, and flat 5s, you know, whatever. But these are the 4 major ones, no pun intended, the 4 most common ones. And it'll definitely get you headed in the direction of playing 7th chords and being able to figure out 7th chords and understand 7th chords. So, hope that helped.